guys, it's Alice, and today I thought I'd show you some nonfiction books that I'm gonna try and read this year. First up, we have got Breaking and Entering by Jeremy N. Smith. This is a thriller-like true crime book about this hacker called Alien, and I think we follow her from her years at MIT to her eventually being recruited by this top cybersecurity firm. And I don't know, I just think that sounds really interesting, like reading about a female hacker. And I never read any books about this type of technology, so I think that will be really fun. Secondly, we've got this huge book called The Occult, Witchcraft and Magic by Christopher Dell. This is basically a history of witchcraft and the occult, and it's illustrated as well, which is always really fun. I don't really know a lot about the history of these things, but I'm very fascinated by it, so I think I'll be able to learn quite a lot from this. Then I have picked out Shakespeare's Restless World by Neil MacGregor. This takes a look at Shakespeare's world and the Tudor era by taking a look at 20 different objects, which sounds really interesting. And this is a book that I've had for so long, and I keep like coming across it and being like, oh, I really need to read that. And then I just never get around to it. I've heard a lot of really good things about this though, so I really do want to read it. Next, we have got this lovely copy of The Plant Messiah by Carlos Magdalena. I really like books about plants and nature, which is why I got this book. And this author works at Kew Gardens, and he's very passionate about saving the world's endangered plants, which, you know, the world is on fire, so that's probably very hard. And I think we just get to read about his work doing that, and I think that sounds so cool. Then we've got another book that I've had for a really long time, and it is Land of Second Chances by Tim Lewis. Now, I feel like I really just need to read this book or get rid of it because I've had it for so long. The thing is, this book is kind of about sports, and I'm not that interested in sports. Like, it's a book about cycling, but then it's also a book about these 4 guys from Rwanda who became heroes within the sport, and it's about their lives, and that bit sounds really interesting. So I think I just gotta give it a shot and see what I think. Next, we have got a history book, and it is Erebus by Michael Palin. This is the tale of HMS Erebus, and we follow it from its construction to its abandonment during some sort of Antarctic expedition, and then we read about it being rediscovered in 2014. I just really like reading about like historical ships and their voyages, and this is supposed to be really, really good. Then we have got a memoir that I've heard amazing things about, and it is H is for Hawk by Helen MacDonald. If I remember correctly, this story is about when the author very suddenly lost her father, and afterwards she decides to try and train this really difficult to train hawk, and that's how she like works through her grief, which sounds kind of weird but very interesting. Next, I have picked out Notes on a Nervous Planet by Matt Haig. This is a book about mental health, and it takes a look at the ways that our external current world affects our well-being. And I just know a lot of people love this book, and that makes me wanna try and love it too. Second to last, we've got another book about nature, and it is The Sakura Obsession by Naoko Abe. This takes a look at the history of the Japanese cherry blossom trees and how they were saved from extinction by this English gardener who visited Japan in 1907, I believe. I love reading about trees and I love history, so I feel like this is gonna be perfect for me. Lastly, we've got more history with Unfinished Empire by John Darwin. This explores the history of the British Empire from its beginnings to its decline, which is a lot of history, and I really feel like I don't know that much about it really. Like, I've read a little bit about colonialism, but I don't feel like... I feel like there's a lot of stuff I don't know about, and I really want to learn more, and this is supposed to be one of the better books about this topic, so I really want to read it. Okay guys, those were all the books that I had to show you today. I'd love to know what nonfiction books you want to read this year, and I will see you soon. Bye!